Modern golf clubs are generally pretty low maintenance and just require the occasional cleaning. Antique hickory clubs, however, can be a bit more complicated. These clubs generally just have a raw metal finish which is susceptible to rusting. I've already removed the decades of rust with vinegar, but would like to keep them looking clean even after continued use. For basic cleaning of irons, I just use warm soapy water and a soft bristle brush to loosen up and remove dirt and grass. This brush is also great for getting the grooves or dots in this case clean too. I would advise against using a wire brush as it may scratch the club head. After wiping up the dirt, it's imperative to get them as dry as possible, as moisture is what leads to rust forming. Once this is complete, I usually wipe them down with dry 000 steel wool to give them a quick polish. Usually this is all I do to keep them clean before using them again. Again, moisture is what causes rust to form. I tend to avoid playing in wet conditions due to this and opt for my modern clubs in those days. However, if you do get your hickories wet, try to get them dried off as soon as possible. Recently, I attended a hickory golf event that rained quite a bit and actually saw lots of rust spots forming on my niblick on the 18th hole. It goes to show it only takes a few hours for rust to form if the conditions are right. However, in this case, I was able to wipe it off easily with steel wool as soon as I got it home. If I left it though, the rust may have set in and would have been very difficult to remove. On my old mashie here, there are a few spots where this happened, and I'm not able to remove it with steel wool. This will require another soak in vinegar or another abrasive cleaning method, which is quite the hassle. It's much better just to stay on top of maintenance. The woods can be a bit more challenging. I especially try to avoid moisture on them due to their more fragile nature. However, I did get my spoon here wet, and you can see that the rain wiped off a lot of the shellac coating I applied. I chose to use steel wool again to remove the old finish and applied a new coating of shellac, and it was as good as new. The main reason for using shellac is for a protective coating and to seal the wood grain to prevent damage. It also gives a nice shine that's aesthetically pleasing. This goes for the hickory shafts as well, as it should be kept well sealed and hydrated. I've read online that a new coat should be applied every 6 months, but I usually just do it when they are looking a bit dry or dull. As a side note, some clubs, mostly from the late Hickory period, have rust preventative coatings. Chromium is the most common one I've come across and works well at preventing rust. However, once the finish starts to wear off, there's not really an easy way to replenish it, which can be a bit ugly. In conclusion, keeping on top of cleaning and maintenance of these antique clubs is important, as if you don't, rust can set in deep or shafts can become more susceptible to breaking. There are more ways to maintain these clubs, but this is what has worked best for me from experience. Thanks for watching.